everybody's favorite segment, Johnny on the Spot, where we take statements and we force Mike Johnson to make the case for said statement. It's pretty straightforward, so let's just dive right into this, shall we? We will start with goaltendings. Here is the goaltenders. Here's the statement that you need to make, Johnny. Carey Price is the best goaltender remaining in the playoffs. Make the case.
Well, that's a pretty easy case to make. I mean, we look at the save percentage leaders, which is the most obvious stat to look to for playoff performance. And if I'm not mistaken, Carey Price is first in that regard. So you're the best in save percentage just by a little bit, but doesn't matter. You're still the best. And you're playing in a division that produces a lot of offense. So he's getting it done. And I'll go further than that, Jackie. Every year they ask the players, who's the toughest goalie to play against? Who would you want if you had to win one game for your life? And who do the players always say?
They always say Carey Price.
The players know, and they know that when he's at his best, and he hasn't always been the last few years, but when he's at his best, his ceiling is higher than anybody else's. And I still think because of his success in the past and everything else, he can get into the heads of the opponents a little bit, just a little bit. And so for those reasons, I think Carey Price is pretty comfortably playing the best of any goaltender left in the playoffs.
And I think he's proven more than once that what happens in the regular season doesn't matter. Playoff Carey Price is a legit thing. And Carey Price and the Habs are awaiting the winner of this Vegas-Colorado series. So, of course, we have to talk about who they would prefer to play, even though no team ever wants to admit that they're rooting for one team over another. So here is your statement. Vegas is a better matchup for Montreal.
Oh, you're not making this easy today, Jackie.
I mean, we can't make them all
Vegas
easy.
is a better matchup. No, exactly. Vegas is a better matchup because Montreal is a defending team and a counter-punching team. So I think they will be able to withstand the forecheck. The big four defensemen in Montreal are good at breaking pucks out of their own end. They're an analytically darling team. They push pucks in the offensive end, and what Vegas does best when they play their best is they wear you out in your own end. Montreal doesn't let that happen. They've had trouble scoring, but the puck is always in the offensive end. The game is almost always tilted in their favor. So I think you take what Vegas is best at, their forecheck, and I think Montreal will be able to negate that because they're good at getting out of their own end. And so you're going to take something away that's the very best. And then one other thought. Marc-Andre Fleury, who's been amazing, playing back in Montreal, near where he grew up, the dynamic against Carey Price, what that does to the pressure on the Flower in this, what could be a great semifinal. So I'm going to say Vegas is, in fact, the better matchup.
All right, we're going to go from tough statements, to tough questions. Which remaining playoff team has the best home ice advantage? Now, careful, because fan bases might come at you for this one.
All right, they're all great, and I love all fans, Jackie, but no. The answer is the New York Islanders. And you talked about it. You were just at a game last week, and it's as much because of the building as it is because of the fans. The fans are incredibly passionate, energetic. They like to tailgate and get nice and ripe before the game even starts. But more than that is the building is so old that it's tiny. And the lower bowl rises in a pretty steep manner, and the upper bowl sits right on top of the lower bowl. So when you're in there, and you can appreciate this, it does feel like this crowd is coming over top of the glass and onto the ice. It's got the low ceiling. It is ridiculously loud when it gets going. So I'm saying, as a function of the building, which is old but charming, the Islanders have the best home ice advantage.
And that crowd has never seen a chant they don't like. That's for sure. All right, next question. Who is now your favorite to win the Stanley Cup? Which team you think is best poised?
I think it's Vegas, which is amazing to say because they're not even in the Final Four, but they have the easiest path to the Final Four. And I think playing Montreal, they would be favored by more in that series than Tampa or the Islanders would be favored to get through there. So by path of least resistance, I'm saying Vegas because I think they're the best bet to get to the final. And once you get there, I think it's virtually a toss-up. 51-49, 52-48. Even if they're the underdog, they got a great chance to get there. But I do think because of the pathway through Montreal hanging around for 10 days waiting for them to finish up their series, I think Vegas would be the house money would be on Vegas right now.
All right, well, Habs fans are passionate. You know this. They were not taken by most people in that series against Toronto. Most people did not take them in the series against Winnipeg. And I would say that they're probably the underdog here against either Vegas or Colorado, depending on who they face. You know this team as well as anybody. You've done a ton of Montreal games this year. So make the case that Montreal can win the Stanley Cup.
Well, I just made the case they have the best goalie. So what's the most important position in the game? Goaltending. So that's why they have a great chance. Also, they haven't trailed in forever. They're playing as well as they have played all year long and at the right time. And maybe the most important part is that they've added a little bit of skill, a little dash of talent to their very good system playing team. And I'm talking about Caulfield and Suzuki and Toffoli. What those three guys have going is something that the Canadiens haven't had to offer. A line that you can kind of count on to score and make nice plays and break games open within the context of the team system. And we would be remiss if we did not mention the ghosts of the Montreal Canadiens. This is a storied franchise. They've won more Stanley Cups than any other franchise in the NHL. When it gets close, when they get near it, they don't often miss. There is something, I played for the Montreal Canadiens. There's a mystique about that organization that when they get close, they think they should win it. And half the battle is believing you can, and right now they most definitely believe they can.
Oh yeah, they are not a team lacking in confidence or swagger right now. All right, Johnny on the spot, always a good time.